Welcome to Real Estate with Jennifer and Marcia. I'm Marcia Valenzuela, broker owner of the Valenzuela Real Estate Group.
Hi, and I'm Jennifer Aganas with NuWorld Title.
So today we're going to talk about big, huge mistakes that realtors make. So if you're a new realtor just starting out, or you're a veteran and you're wondering, why have I not made the amount of money I want to make in real estate? Watch this show to the end. So do you want to start or do you want me to start?
Okay, I don't know. We have a list.
We have our list. We're going to share with you.
Okay, so I guess you start.
Okay, I'll start with my list. So number one huge, big mistake is doing things during the day that do not produce money. So we have realtors, I've seen this a million times, realtors who spend a lot of time visiting developers, and it's wonderful. They treat you like king and queens. They have food for you. They're so nice to you. It's
and you
beautiful.
get to know, and you get to see the development and know the development.
Yeah,
which is great. Beautiful.
but not so often. Like
right.
One here or there. I would say like once a month you're good in visiting. Now you can always get information on obviously online, calling them, getting information from them. They'll send you pictures and videos, and all of that you can do from home, and it's a lot quicker. It's just if you're spending every week visiting developers, I think that could be a waste of time because it's not a producing activity. It does not produce money. You're just gathering information.
No, and then on top of it all, they gather their information and then they don't use the information to post about it, to actually market the project. So if you're going to go visit a developer or a few developments and you're going to gather this information, the logical thing to do right after is try to sell the information and use the resources that they give you, because they're there to help and they're giving you videos and content. You know, after you go to the development, you have to get to work and actually market that development to your sphere, to your client list, to your investor list, so forth and so on.
Yeah, you should do really 3 things with developer information. You should post it on your social media. You should send it by email to your database. And you should call people up and let them know, hey, if you know anybody who's interested in new construction, interested in buying, interested in investing, I have amazing developers that I know of. I've contacted them. I have these relationships with the reps. I'm your person. So tell them to call me. So the other thing a lot of realtors do is they take a lot of classes. They're at the association all the time. They're taking class after class after class, which those are my people, because I love learning and I love going to classes and I love the academic side of things.
You need to get better at your craft and you need to learn. The problem is that we see these realtors that have been taking classes for like a year but aren't doing anything. Right. So yes, take your class maybe once a week, once a month, something that you feel useful, and learn it. Like for instance, if you're going to go take a class on how to use the MLS, I'm pretty sure you're not going to become an MLS expert in one class. But if you go home and you practice and not jump into another class, so it's just going to confuse you, you know, learn the MLS, which the MLS I think is one of the most important classes, right? Because that's what's going to help you actually produce, because that's what's going to give you listings and you need to know how to email blast them and all that stuff. But take it in strides. You know, you're not here trying to get a degree in 2 years or anything like that. You have to actually earn money while you're doing that. So you kind of have to be able to balance.
Right. I think a lot of guidance from your broker is the key here, so that they can sit down with you and tell you, okay, take these classes. After you take these classes, now start producing. Or if you're a veteran realtor, also see, you know, sometimes you need that guidance from a broker to tell you, stop taking classes. You need to go out and hustle. That's what real estate is all about. Doing something every single day that produces clients, that will produce closings, that will produce money for you.
I think they hide behind the classes.
Yeah, it's hiding.
It's like, okay, I have to take a class. I mean, I've done it for other things. Like my excuse for not doing some stuff is like, oh my God, I have to work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think they do hide behind the classes. So get out of the classroom. Now, I'm not saying not to learn, but start producing, or try to because at the end of the day, every day you need to be doing something that's going to help you closer to getting a paycheck.
Exactly. So do you want to go with your thing?
Another thing that realtors make a mistake is you guys do not follow up.
Yeah, that's
Following
a big one.
up is key. Okay, you can't meet somebody or have a conversation with somebody about real estate and leave it at that, or follow up one time. You know, people are always asking, oh my God, I want leads. But leads, you gotta call them. It's still calling. So it doesn't matter if you're calling the people from your phone, your sphere of influence, somebody that you met at a restaurant, whatever. You have to follow up. And calling one time is not enough. You gotta be able to do follow up. Sometimes it'll take you like 7 to 8 times to follow up with somebody before you can actually make them your actual customer. So remember, you're making contacts out there and you're meeting people. You need to be able to follow up with them, because even your renters or people that told you they're not ready to buy right now, you need to be able to follow up with them within a month, 2 months, 3 months, whatever the situation is. But you need to be able to follow up with them. Realtors don't follow up. You guys don't even follow up on your past clients. Past clients don't even remember who the realtor was, most of them, because it's like you did a closing, thank you, take pictures, have a gift, and then never hear from you again. And then guess what? That's not the last time they're going to buy a house. They're going to call somebody else.
Yeah, and they know people who need a realtor. And so I have a good stat for this. So 80% of clients or potential clients will actually use a realtor after they've had 6 to 8 touches from the realtor.
Yeah, it used to be 6, but it went up.
It went up. And 1% of realtors actually touch potential clients 6 to 8 times. And when I say touch, I don't mean touch, though. That's not weird.
Yeah. Don't be touching people.
Yeah, don't be touching people. A touch means like a phone call,
a text, an email. We're so in sync. Yes, so definitely, and I believe it won't, guys, 1%. That's a really 1%. Low number.
It's a really low number because, and I think the problem is realtors don't know what to say after the first phone call or the first follow up. They just are like, what do I say now? But
this is a rule for sales. If you're in sales, it doesn't matter if you're selling real estate or a pen. You gotta follow up.
Right.
Like that's like the number one rule in sales.
Yeah. So, you know, things that you can say. Number one, put them on an automated system. Put them on Matrix Concierge. Put them on eProperty Watch. There's automated systems where they're getting an email from you all the time. So put them on those systems.
And if you're not sure what kind of drip campaign or whatever to use, ChatGPT it.
Yeah, the scripts. ChatGPT the scripts. Say, literally you can say, what do I say to someone 6 times about real estate? And ChatGPT will literally give you 6 different scripts.
Or you can even put like some kind of conversation you have with them, and you can create an email script for a potential buyer that I met in whatever Little Havana restaurant, and he's interested in buying a home for investment. You know, you can get as detailed as you want, and it will literally do the whole thing for you. You just copy paste.
Yeah, and in different languages. You can say,
I do Spanish. I do that all the time.
Yeah, me too. I use it all the time for that. And
so to follow up the not following up, I'm gonna say that realtors don't have like an actual work routine. I usually call it system, but I don't want to call it system because it's not like a system. It's a work routine. So in real estate, you're self-employed. You don't have a boss. I know you have a broker, but the broker's not really your boss. So you have nobody micromanaging you. So you kind of have to have, this is where the discipline comes in. You have to have some kind of routine. Like on Mondays, you do follow-ups. On maybe if you had open houses on the weekend before or with clients, you do Monday follow-ups. Tuesday, you can work on your marketing. You know, Tuesday could be your marketing day. Wednesday could be like your open house days, whatever. But you kind of have to have some kind of a routine. Like think of it as your job, 9 to 5 job. So you're going to wake up on Monday, go into work, and what are you going to do? You got to have a plan. You got to have a routine. Now, is your routine going to be exactly the same every week? It is, but things are going to happen. So maybe you have Monday as your follow-up days to follow up with clients, and then instead, a client popped up, so you have to go show property. That's okay. It was there in your calendar as part of your work routine, but now it's a job. It's a work. You instead of doing follow-ups, okay, you're gonna go look with a client to go see a property. That's okay. Now, don't skip your follow-up calls to go have a beach day with your friend because it's her birthday.
Yeah. I feel like you've been in that situation.
Yes, I have.
Okay. And I want to add to that, morning routine is so important. Now,
Yes.
this is difficult for free spirits. Free spirits just want to take the day as it goes. But when it's your business, you are a businessman or a businesswoman. You need to understand, look in the mirror and say, yeah, I'm a free spirit, but this is my business, so I have to become a businessman or a businesswoman.
It's discipline.
Free spirits do not do well because they're not disciplined. So you need to really understand that about yourself and not just say, well, I'm a free spirit, this is how I am. Then you're
I
not
just go
see,
with the flow.
yeah. And you're not going to see the results that you want. So I would add to that a morning routine where you're doing something for your body and you're also doing something for your spirit and for your mind. So I would say something like eat healthy, even like a shake, hydrate yourself, whatever it is. So don't eat a lot of heavy foods in the morning.
Go for a walk.
Yeah, go for a walk. Do something healthy for your body.
Read.
Exercise or whatever. Yeah.
I have in my calendar read for 10 minutes every morning.
Oh, that's good.
I know, but I don't really do it, but it's there.
Yeah. And
I don't do it every day.
Yeah, and that's
But instead, you know what I do? I do listen to podcasts.
Okay.
I'm always doing something I
Right.
could educate myself of what's going
Right.
on because as in our industry, the market is constantly changing.
Yes.
So you kind of have to stay on top of your game. So I'm either reading articles or I'm listening to stuff that's going on.
Yeah, I do the same thing. I listen to podcasts to educate myself about the industry, and there's lots of them out there, like this one. And then, and also just something for your spirit as well. So some people meditate, some people pray, some people listen to worship music, whatever it is. But having those three things really quick in the morning. I'm not saying like
don't spend 3 hours doing these things, people.
Real quick, like 10 minutes each thing or whatever. So I have one which kind of goes along with that a little bit, which is big mistake not working a lead system. A system that actually captures client. And one system, not 10 different things.
Like a CRM. There's the CRMs that they do it all.
Yeah. And
technology is amazing.
Like you were mentioning, open houses. Become amazing at open houses. Don't start doing open houses and calling for sale by owners. And oh yeah, I'm also going to be tabling at events, and I'm also going to be doing this and that. Pick one thing to dominate.
Yeah, and you have to be intentional.
Yeah.
Be intentional for what you're doing. If you're gonna do an open house, be intentional. Don't just put up some signs and go sit inside of a house for 3 hours. That's not an open house. Right. You actually gotta visit the neighbors the day before, go door knocking, get the word out that there's an open house. There's many things that you can do. Just putting a sign and posting an open house flyer on social media and wondering why only 2 people went to go see the open house, that's fine. And let me tell you something. Open houses are a great way to meet new clients and prospect. Because guess what? Not everybody goes with a realtor. Somebody might not even be looking, pass by your open house and decided to get off and they have no realtor. So open houses are great for lead generating if you do it the right way.
And this is important. Like Jennifer, I want to highlight this. There's a right way and a wrong way to capture clients. There's a right way and a wrong way to do an open house. So if you're doing an open house and you also table and you also call for sale by owners and you're also posting on Facebook Marketplace for renters, if you're doing all of those things, like Jennifer's saying, you're not going to be able to dominate and kill it in one area because you're doing this for 3 hours and then you're doing this other thing for 3 hours. No. If you do just open houses, that's going to give you lots of results because every time you do it, you're trying to figure out how am I going to do better the next time and the next time and the next time. And all your energy, all of your time is being placed into that. And that's how you're going to grow. So pick one thing. And when you hear, oh, but I'm doing this and I'm doing that, block it out.
You can't be a jack of all trades.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah, I see a lot of people do that too. They're jack of all trades.
In real estate. What do you got?
Yes, using a CRM, which is a kind of piggybacking off your systems thing. CRMs. So CRMs to me, I cannot live without my CRM or my calendar. Those 2 things are the most vital things in my business. My calendar and my CRM. And every time I do trainings for realtors, with marketing and stuff like that, I always ask, who uses a CRM. And it's so surprising to me how either nobody raises their hand or maybe 3 people might raise their hands. People, if you're going to do open houses one day, and then you're going to go visit developers another day, and you're going to do going to a networking event another day, and then meeting some people because you got the Uber driver's number for he's interested in real estate, whatever it may be, how will you follow up with them? Why? Because they're in your little brain? No, our brain does not have capacity for all of that. You have to put it, you got to take it out of here and put it somewhere else. The CRM, that's the thing that's going to do that for you. Because in the CRM, there is automation. You can do drip campaigns from there. Some of them even do mass texting. A drip campaigns with email and texting and mix it up. Then you can actually task yourself a reminder. Hey, call this person. You have notes in there. So this person that you met a month ago that had a broken leg with a cast on, now you can call them. Hey, do you still have your cast? How's everything?
Yeah.
Why? Because of the CRM. There's no way, if you're meeting people all the time, which if you're a realtor, you're supposed to be meeting people all the time. There's no way you're going to remember all that. Like, our brains don't have the capacity. We have family things. We have children. We have projects. We have, work. It's a lot. So you have to kind of clear as much as possible. Like I always tell people, this sometimes is so full, I need to put it on a paper. That's why I make lists sometimes, but everything goes in my CRM. You need to get a CRM.
Yeah, that's important. I also have, this is a big mistake I hear a lot of realtors say, I don't want to make my phone calls to people that I know, or cold calls, or whatever they're working on. I feel bad going up to people that I don't know because I think I'm bothering them. This is huge, and it's such a big mistake. You are bothering people if you are desperate, and you're going up to people thinking, I need them more than they need me. Those two things, desperation and feeling that other way, that's what makes you feel like you're bothering them, because obviously nobody wants to be sold to. You're not going to go up to people and say, hey, I'm a realtor, please use me. I understand why you think that that's bothering people, because that would bother people. But no, there is a magic pill for that. The magic pill is going up to people, number one, with the mentality of thinking they need you more than you need them, because you're an ethical realtor, you're an educated realtor, and you're going to help them and put them first. That's not that common. There are people who are unethical and all of that. I mean, when you compare yourself to that, you're like, better me than somebody else, you know? And so you're going up with that mentality, and you tell them, you chit chat with them like normal. And then before you leave, and many times they're like, oh, what do you do or whatever. But if they don't, that's okay. And just say, if you know of anybody who may want to buy, sell, or rent, I'd love to work with them. I'm going to send you my information so you can share it with anybody if you ever hear of anybody who needs a realtor.
Yeah, remember, it's the human aspect. I know everybody talks about technology taking over, but one thing real estate is always going to be, you're always going to need that human connection. So that's why I said, if you meet somebody that had a broken leg, you're not calling them to follow up with them about, hey, do you still want to buy a house? You're calling them to find out, hey, did they take the cast off? How's your leg? What happened? And then from there, it'll stem into other things. But it's a relationship business. So don't think, I love what you said about the mindset.
Yeah.
How you approach people. I love that. Obviously, we never practice ahead of time. This is why sometimes she catches me by surprise with her magnificent brain. So I love that.
Yeah,
I love that. It's true. Mindset is everything.
What else you got?
Okay, so this is like one of my pet peeves.
Uh-oh.
You guys need to learn the contracts.
Oh, yeah.
Realtors don't know their contracts. It's crazy when I ask a realtor, why did you pick this box? And they told me, oh, because that's what they told me to do. My so-and-so told me to do it that way. And my response is, so if so-and-so tells you to jump off a bridge, you're going to do that too? And obviously not. I'm the type of person, if somebody tells me, you got to pick this, my response is going to be, okay, why do I have to pick that? Like, is there a reason? I want to know why. You need to learn the contract and be an expert in the contract, because a contract is what's going to protect your buyer, your seller, and you are the professional. So knowing your contracts, your leases, and listen, sometimes it's just as simple as just reading them. You know, there might be some language you might not understand, but then you ask. You know, the contract is negotiable. There's options. You need to be able to be an expert on that. That way, if anything were to happen, you know how to maneuver yourself around it for your client.
I love that. And again, there's so many resources out there, but start with your broker. Your broker is
you have a broker
resource. The other thing I have is, this is going to help you so much. This, I want to like go through the phone and hug you guys, because I see this happening. You compare yourself to other realtors on social media, or you say, why is that person so successful and I'm not? Look at me, and I'm making, I don't know, this much amount of money, and that other person's making double. Well, I think we need to keep things in perspective, and you need to ask yourself always, how long has the other person been in the business? If it's even just 1 year more than you, they have a leg up on you because they've been doing this longer. Number two, how many hours does that person spend doing real estate every single day? Again, even if it's 1 hour more than you, they have a leg up on you. There are all these things. Also, like, that used to happen to me back in the day. I used to look at women that I admire and be like, why am I not like them? And then a friend of mine said, you know what? You need to like realize what you're comparing yourself to. You're in your 20s, they're in their 40s. They've had 20 more years to work on their career than you. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I never thought of it that way. Or like their kids are already older on their own. You have little kids that you're taking care of.
Yeah, everybody's situation is different. Everybody, especially with social media, everybody sees like the glam side of things.
Right.
Nobody sees the blood, sweat, and tears behind the camera. And social media has done a really good job of putting that like curtain up, like a show. And let me tell you, for a while, it used to cause a lot of depression amongst people, because so-and-so's life is so much better than mine. And it was like
still.
Yeah, it was kind of like an epidemic going on with that, with the depression, stuff like that. Another thing I want to say is, don't believe everything you see on social media. Because just because it looks like they're doing better doesn't mean that they are doing better.
Yeah.
And I know this for a fact. Okay, guys, like this is like I'm not even making this up. I have my sources. I know what I'm saying. So don't believe the hype. Sometimes you'd be surprised. Some of the most productive realtors don't even get on social media, if you can believe that one.
Yeah.
So yeah, do not compare yourselves to other people. If you're not comparing apples and apples here, you have to, everybody's situation is different. Everybody works different. Everybody has different experience. It's, you might have just started. So yeah, don't do that, because it's gonna mess with your mindset.
Yeah, compete with yourself.
You're your competition.
Yeah, just think of this. Am I better today than I was yesterday? And if not, change that and start getting better every day, little by little. But that's your competition. That's what I think of also. Like, am I better today than yesterday? Am I doing better? Do I know better? And that's your competition. So what's your next thing?
They're not consistent.
Oh, that's so
And I think
hard.
that's just like a people thing. That's not like a realtor thing. That's just a people thing. It's very hard to be consistent. Everybody, especially nowadays, we expect instant gratification. You have to be consistent. I always say, if you keep doing the right things and you're consistent, there's no way you're gonna fail. There's no way.
Impossible.
It will be impossible. Because you're not gonna do something for a month and it's gonna be like, oh my God, I did it. No, this is consistency. Like I said, you have to follow up 7 times. You have to post consistently. You gotta be out there consistently. Making phone calls consistently, working on your craft consistently. This is an ongoing thing. You know what I mean? Trust me, even in the worst markets, it's not like if you're doing all the right things, it's impossible for you not to get a client or a closing. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And it's just, once you get, I think, a rhythm of it, it starts to flow. It takes time and it takes work. Like, you have to work it. You have to work your business.
Yeah, and this is important to know. This ties into work one lead system and consistently, because I don't want you to think, well, I've been working for 3 months and I haven't seen any results. it's probably because you're doing things that don't produce every day, and probably because you're working different systems. So you're not being consistent if you're doing an open house 1 week, but then you don't do another open house for like another month. That's not consistency. Consistency looks like this. And I'm just using open house as an example. I'm working an open house every single weekend, and I'm trying to get better at it. And that's what I'm doing. And I'm working towards that during the week to get better at that open house every single week. That's consistency, not I'm working real estate. That's not consistency necessarily.
Or I'm going to call 10 people every day or
Right.
whatever. I'm going to make calls every Tuesdays and Thursdays for 2 hours. Consistent.
Consistency.
You can't do it for a month and expect results. Consistent. You have to be at it all the time.
Yeah. And my last one, choosing the wrong broker. This one's difficult because a new realtor sometimes doesn't know, or but I always tell people your broker will determine your success 100%. If you don't get the education, the support, whatever is important to you, if you're not getting that from your broker, then you're just going to feel frustrated. So first you need to discover what's important for you. What do you want out of a broker? And then that way you can go and find it. And they have to, what they offer has to be aligned with what is important to you. Whatever that is. It could be technology, education, support, being part of a team. I mean, mentorship, whatever it is you're looking for, make sure that the broker offers that. If not, don't join them, because you're just going to get frustrated. You're not going to produce anything. And then you're going to leave in 3 or 6 months.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. And not every brokerage is the same. You got to kind of like find your tribe kind of thing. You know what I mean? Every brokerage has like a different kind of culture and a different kind of vibe. You got to feel good of where you're going and feel supportive, especially in your beginning years of real estate. You do want to be able to feel like you can call your broker for support, or if they have like a mentorship program, do a mentor. I mean, whatever you feel that you need to find it. And I'm not saying that they're just different. It's not like one is better than the other. You know what I mean? You just gotta find I always say find your tribe.
Find your tribe. And it's important too to understand also, you want to have that experience of what it's like to be there before you actually join them. So I tell people, if you're kind of on the fence or you don't really know, go ask the broker if you can attend classes that they're offering during the week. That way, whether it's by Zoom or in person, however you want to do it, that way you kind of get to see, is this
or
my
go
tribe?
to a team meeting that they have. Sometimes brokerages have
team meetings,
have
sales
office meetings maybe once a month, once a week. Find out, and maybe you can go and see who else is there and see how the feeling is and the vibe. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, and you can actually ask other people who are there how they feel at that brokerage. If they really do offer what they're saying they offer, those people are going to tell you the truth, because you just randomly pick a bunch of people and start talking to them about that.
So I think we gave you a lot of stuff this time.
Exactly.
Go
ahead.
But make sure to like and subscribe.
Follow us. We're gonna consistently have prizes for our subscribers, so you want to go ahead and subscribe so that you can be a winner. We gave our last gift card to Sophie the other day. She's one of our subscribers, so go ahead and subscribe so you can win a prize. And thanks for being here, and know that there are mistakes and there's wrong ways to do things. You don't want to be that realtor. So follow our advice. Stay tuned.
Bye.
Bye.